Hello everybody and welcome back again to Let's Play Disco Elysium. So I think we're done talking to these gentlemen for now. So I think what I will do is I will continue to look around this area a little bit more to make sure I haven't missed anything. And it seems that if I want to continue to look for Ruby, I have to go further north, up the coast. But I also have like a few things that I would like to do back in the other part of town. So maybe I will actually return there for now, finish some stuff and then come back here and continue my search for Ruby. But yeah, first let's look around this area a bit and make sure there isn't anything else. Like, can I go to the other side of this fence, for example? Doesn't look like it. And finally, if I want to go over here, I have to find my way all around this building. There's no shortcut. Okay, there's the bench. Oh, hang on a second. Sounds of life in the north. A washboard scrubs filth from fabric. Huh. And now we are going back to where we came from. The shot couldn't have come from here. Trees block the way. I mean, that is interesting information, but was that ever part of my theory that it came from here? Not sure. Okay, we got something over here that I missed. Let's see. Through the broken glass, dusty shelves and a forgotten chair. And more tar. Have I been inside here already? I may have been inside here already. Oh well, apparently I have not been inside here. Oh, hang on a second. You see a dark red chair in the dim light of the room. Okay, but there's like another bubble here. A cold breeze is enough to make the wall planks creak. Oh, it's another postcard. Cold City. Another one for my collection. And a bow knot. For additional drama. Okay, let me have a look at that. First, maybe the postcard. This postcard depicts a forest of smokestacks releasing fat plumes of smoke into blue cloudless sky. The tinge of age, the color of old teeth, gives it a sickly look. Written on the back is a single sentence repeated twice. I got out, no address. Okay. Very mysterious. And let me have a look at that bow tie. Okay, I could replace my horrific necktie with it. But I mean, do I really want to reduce my inland empire even more? It would basically be 0. So, maybe I'm going to keep the horrific necktie. The drama is okay, so I guess I'll keep the necktie for now. Okay, what else do we got here? There's a boat tucked away underneath the tarpaulin cover. Right, I see like some stairs over here. Is this the way we can go? Up here? Uh-huh. Okay, but it's just back to this area and I have been here already. Alright, never mind. And yeah, I think we are approaching the area of the waterlock again. So everything here should be discovered already. Alright. Right, we still have this over here. I'm not sure if I can open this with a crowbar. Maybe I should give it a try. Crowbar. Ah, here we go. Jamrock Biker Cop Sunnies. Okay. Visual calculus minus drama. And the new one plus empathy minus logic. Huh. Huh. I do have a lot of visual calculus, so maybe I do want to change this for more empathy. But it would also decrease my logic, which I don't really like. So maybe I'm going to ignore this. Okay, so let's go back to the main part of Martinez. Apparently I can, like, fast travel now, right? But it doesn't really seem to work. Maybe I need to be at the specific spot over here if I want to fast travel back and forth. Okay, so I'm just going to go there on foot. It's not that far away anyway. And, right, let me change that again. Also, right, I still need to talk to these guys over here. Maybe I will actually do this now. How do I get there? So, are you like playing boccia? How do I get to these guys? Can't walk down here apparently. Or maybe I should just let him pathfind his way down. Okay, so there is a path down here. Oh, hang on a second. There's something for me to look at. The spirited chirps and clicks of swallows fill the air. Anyway, let's talk.
Life doesn't need to be a struggle.
Gaston Martin. He covers his mouth to hide a burp.
I'll be with you in a moment, officer. Let me just finish my sandwich. Talk to angry old Rene first.
Okay, if you say so. So, I can't talk to him at the moment. So, is this the other guy? Let's talk to him.
Have you no shame? Whining about your back every time you bring out the measuring tape.
Rene, you're a man with a fork in a world of soup. Please, let's just try to enjoy the game, alright?
This one's still chewing on his sandwich. Okay, so I guess you're arguing about the game, and the measuring tape is for determining how, you know, far away your ball landed.
I'm trying to, but you keep breaking my concentration. You're old. I can see that. We're both old. Now stop grabbing your ass like it's a girl.
What?
These manly men are playing balls. This is a ball game. Grab a ball and play it. Don't ask questions. Shoot first. Ask questions never.
I strongly disagree with that, physical instrument. Shouldn't I ask what game it is first? Alright, I got this ball time. I mean, it looks like boccia or boule, which I think is like the same game. I don't know. The rules might be slightly different, but the concept is the same. I think boccia is just like the Italian name and boule is the French name. So you throw the balls and then you have to throw a ball that is getting close to, you know, the other ball. So that's probably what this is.
No, you got this. There's the ball. You're the game.
Acting without hesitation. Better observe them first. A moment of your time, fellas. Don't get involved in the game. Let's observe them first.
See? Your munching and complaining have ruined my concentration.
The man throws a metal ball towards a smaller wooden ball in the sand, missing it by a meter. Yeah, so basically the goal is to throw your ball as close as you can to another specific ball, right?
Could the objective of the game be to throw the metal ball so it lands by the wooden ball?
That's what I would assume.
Ah, mon Dieu. The pain in my back is unbearable. I can't even say if it's in my back or hip anymore. Feels like it's in both.
He tries to measure the throw.
I hope you pass out from it, you goddamn jellyfish. Men like you are the reason this nation is sinking.
What? Because he's old and can't move around as quickly anymore? Standing tall and proud, he looks at his partner with disgust.
Trying to throw something as close to a predetermined point as possible. Measuring. This must be the age-old game of Pétanque.
Oh well, maybe it's not Boule or Boccia, or maybe this is just another different name for the same game, because I mostly know this game as Boule or Boccia, but okay.
Shush. Ignore them. They don't know what they're doing. They're old. You are letting down yourself and the team. Get in the damn game already.
What team are you talking about?
Doesn't matter what team. Pick a team. Any team. The blue team. You're letting them down. Get in the game and throw the goddamn ball.
But I don't want to ruin their game. I mean, clearly, they're playing against each other, so there's one team and another team, so... What exactly do you want from me? Why are you so mean?
Eyes on the ball, Dinky Winky.
Okay, no, the game is Pétanque. Apparently, knowing the game actually decreased my chances, so that is odd. A moment of your time, fellas, don't get involved in the game. Okay, sure, let's give this a try. Well, I guess I should have used that skill check before I actually observed the game. Okay, well that wasn't so terrible.
This felt wrong. Wrong like touching your sister's breast. You threw your sister's breast.
What? I did not do such a thing. Do we even know that I have a sister?
Mon Dieu! Good job, officer. That was an excellent throw.
Okay, well, apparently, even though I failed that skill check, I actually managed to perform a decent throw, so there's that.
There are no two more harmful words an athlete can hear than good job. And this was downright embarrassing.
I'm not sure why Physical Instrument is so upset about this. Hold on, why did it feel so wrong? The throw was terrible and you know it, no need to mock me. I thought something way more spectacular would happen. Yeah, I'm not sure why this feels wrong. It seems like a perfectly acceptable throw. I mean, he looked a little bit unelegant doing it, but, I mean, the results aren't bad.
Your muscle memory knew what to do and went for it. But there were gaps.
Okay, what does that mean?
Yeah, gaps you tried to fill with thinking. We don't think in sports. We do.
I don't know, I feel that this is a sport that actually does require at least some amount of thinking and, visual calculus and thinking about where, you want to throw your ball at. But clearly Physical Instrument does not agree.
It felt like you were going for a thrust or a lunge. There was definitely gonna be jumping.
Why?
Maybe you scored a point, but this is a fiasco.
The throw was terrible and you know it, no need to mock me. I don't know, it didn't feel terrible. I thought something way more spectacular would happen. Maybe?
What are you talking about? You just executed a pretty much perfect pétanque throw.
Okay, well, apparently they actually think my throw was pretty good, so there's that. His tone is full of admiration.
How are you ever going to get the officer's shit off your nose, Gaston? Or even climb out of his ass?
He shakes his head in extreme disdain. Perfect throw. Well, I still feel defeated. That's just how Johnny Ballgame is. Extraordinary. I was going for something cool, but I screwed it up, like always. I have no idea what you were going for. Maybe a slightly more elegant pose when throwing. But yeah, I guess that's just how Johnny Ballgame is.
Right. Was the demonstration it? Or do you still need something from us, officer?
I actually have no idea.
Yes, officer. What do we need from this gentleman?
Well, let's see. Do May bells mean anything to you, Rene? Show him the flower. Ah. That is an interesting connection. Rene, I found your guard booth. Do you know anything about the man hanged in the back of the Walling and Rex? You seem to be playing in a crater. I saw the statue of Philip III near the roundabout. Some of these questions seem very random, but let's try to ask all of them. So yeah, let's ask about the flower.
I prefer the old name, Insulindian Lily. Girls brought them to young cadets when they entered service. Wearing them on your cap was supposed to bring good luck.
Hold on, is this a royalist military tradition? Did they bring you good luck? Yeah, is it a royalist tradition?
It used to be. But the communards were fond of them too. Call them revolutionary flowers. Bells of the revolution.
And did they bring you good luck?
You know what? No. They brought me misery, false hope, and disappointment. The revolutionaries sullied them.
I see. So I take it that you are maybe a royalist? I mean, he seems to wear some kind of uniform.
You stirred up some bad memories there.
Apparently.
But it wasn't the revolutionaries that sullied the ID for you, was it? She gave them to me too, and your jealous little heart just couldn't accept it.
Okay, so there actually might be some jealousy involved.
Enough! I can go over these matters in detail with you, Gaston, but not while we have company. So, officers.
Right.
Maybells don't blossom yet, do they?
The lieutenant quickly asks.
Maybe on some remote parts of the city they do. But I think you have to wait for at least a month.
Okay, so basically the flower must have been preserved from last year. But that already is something we already found out. Yeah, what about that guard booth?
Yes, the Debardeurs Union pays me to stand vigil during the nights. Not out of any political allegiance, mind you.
Okay.
I'm an old man. Don't sleep more than a few hours every night anyway, and money is tight.
Okay, so you're standing guard on occasion. You must have seen something on the night of the murder. Your booth looked right into the yard. I saw a picture in there. You were it. Who's the girl? Oh, okay, I remember the guard booth now and the picture we found in there. Okay, yeah, have you seen anything?
Yes, it does. Unfortunately, I wasn't working that night. Been on a 2-week leave since last Monday.
Well, that is unfortunate. Hold on, why are you on a leave? So who was working your shift that night? Ah, that's a good question. But why are you on a leave?
It's a private matter. Nothing to do with your investigation.
All right, fair enough.
You see, officer, Rene is the kind of man would rather die than admit he needs medical assistance or, God forbid, sick it. A real man's man is just gonna ride it out.
Okay.
I'm fine, goddammit. Mind your own business. It's nothing. Just got to cut back on coffee.
Okay, so it's just a coffee, all right. So who was working your shift that night?
No one. The bus has been unmanned since last Monday. There's no other guard. It's just me.
Okay, so no one who could tell us anything else. Then again, I'm not sure if they really have any information that we haven't already found out.
No one has been guarding the container yard since last Monday.
Yes. It's not actually an issue. I mean...
So, are you saying that your job is pointless and it doesn't actually have to be performed?
Look, officers. The container yard doesn't actually need a guardsman. Never had one before Rene. Monsieur Claire had that booth built specially for him. It's mostly decorative.
Okay, and why did he do that?
The possibility of someone being in there is enough to discourage any ill-minded individuals.
He tries to argue.
Evrard created this job for Rene because he knows the Royal Carabiniers' pension of honor and PTSD isn't something a man can live off. A decorated Kingsman collecting there reflects bad on the whole neighborhood. His words.
Interesting. That's actually very nice of Evra, I suppose. Evra gets it. Big guy looking after the small and everyone working together. I love it. Such dependency only weakens a man further. Do or die. There is no middle ground. Rene is but one man. We need a program. Get all the elderly back in the job market. Keep folks motivated. Rene should rent out his services, invest the profit, get few more guys, expand and repeat. Wage work is a dead end. I mean, it's also a good point. He could just give him more pensions instead of creating a job for him that is kind of useless. Then again, maybe he wants to work to feel useful, even if the job isn't useful. It's kind of hard to tell. There's absolutely nothing wrong with tar collecting. It's my side thing too. Proudly hold out the tar bag. Yep, totally. I'm doing it as well. And I'm a police officer, so presumably I'm paid at least some decent wage. I don't know, actually.
Oh, I didn't mean to imply there's something wrong with that. I do it too. Everyone does it. It's an excellent side thing.
All right.
Yes, yes, yes. Can we conclude the topic of my guard booth now?
I think we can. Or maybe not. Yeah, what about the picture in there?
She is nobody. This is none of your concern. And I refuse to discuss my private affairs with the RCM.
Well, that is fair.
The lady is Jeanne-Marie Beaulieu, and she sure as hell wasn't a nobody.
Well, apparently Gaston is a lot more willing to talk about stuff like that. So, anyway, I think this is not important for my investigation, though.
Yes, yes. Like I said, it would be up anyway, so might as well keep an eye out. It keeps my senses sharp.
Do you know anything about the man hanged in the backyard of the Wallingen Rex? Yeah, maybe let's ask some more useful questions here.
Unfortunately, I don't. Unlike most of the locals, I have no qualms about assisting law enforcement. But this affair has passed me by completely.
And most of the locals?
In Martinez, the union is the law. So can you really blame them?
Okay, but you do not have a problem with cops.
Cop is a pejorative term. I don't have a problem with policemen. On the contrary, I admire the effort to bring order to our streets.
Yeah, clearly you're the only one around here that does.
He doesn't know about the crime. Your time is better spent discussing politics.
What about police women? So again, you don't know anything. I'm not sure how this is relevant. But sure, let's ask it anyway. What about police women?
I'm confident they are indispensable in regard to all the paperwork and other administrative duties.
Okay, so apparently your respect for the RCM kinda stops when it's about female officers. Not to mention keeping the station tidy and the men fed and happy. There are no duties RCM women couldn't carry out. I try to avoid voicing opinions on controversial matters. Let's just drop it. I mean, sometimes I do, but every now and then you kind of have to take a stand, right? So I'm sure they can do the same duties as well.
But you must agree that nature, in her infinite wisdom, has made men more fit to perform certain, more challenging tasks. Don't you, officer?
Have you actually looked at me? I mean, I'm not exactly a fine specimen of the male gender or the human race in general. I'm pretty sure there are some female officers that could outperform Harry in his current state. So, I don't think there is evolutionary equality at play here. And even if there is, you can ruin any kind of advantage you may have gotten.
Really, officer? Match an average woman against an average man in a dark alley and see who comes out on top.
Yeah, but I mean, Harry is not an average man, so that point is kind of moot.
Gender equality is a very noble, very modern idea. But in real life, primal roles prevail. But I do not wish to discuss this matter further.
Okay, then let's drop it. You seem to be playing in a crater. I guess you are.
Yes. The terrain here provides an interesting variety to a familiar game.
Was there an earthquake here? Do you know what created it? I mean, I thought the whole area was kinda bombarded with artillery and stuff like that. So probably not an earthquake.
I do. Fire from heavy artillery.
Right, I think we've heard about that already.
Heavy artillery fire, you say? That's the best kind of artillery fire. Very interesting.
Okay, it's a crater left by artillery fire, but why? Because of the coalition who took down the revolution, right?
Why what?
Why was heavy artillery used?
Because that's what happens when communards hijack your country, execute your supreme leadership, and turn your capital into a slaughterhouse. You use heavy ordnance to clean up your home.
Wait, who are the communards again? Did you use artillery fire against them? Maybe we can do this history lesson later. Yeah, tell me more about the communards.
Commies, communists, socialists, anarchists, call them what you like. They just chose a name to feel special. Senseless sentimentality.
And did you use artillery fire?
Sadly, no. It was the foreigners who brought them to their knees. We fought valiantly. Too valiantly. So valiantly we got licked.
He had squeezing a bull in his fist. Right, so it is kind of bull. Bull is the name of the balls, I suppose.
Should have fought dirty, like they did with their suicide sex cult propaganda and mad anarchist women strapped to shrapnel bombs. We didn't though, and we lacked caliber. God bless him, but the suzerain's cannons simply weren't big enough.
Suicide sex cult propaganda. Okay, that sounds exciting.
It was probably a bit more complicated than that.
Probably yes. Why shell them here in Martinez? They should have chosen a place away from people and buildings. Probably. Look around, I don't understand. I'd bomb this place too. Yeah, why shell them here in Martinez?
Because this place is a damn beachhead. Had to soften the commies up first.
The beachhead, you say?
Yes. The military coordinated amphibious landing to take back Revachol.
Okay, I mean, that's basically all info that we have heard from different sources, so I'm kind of familiar with that.
He finds your lack of historic knowledge troubling, a sign of mental deterioration in the preceding generations.
I mean, like I said, I am familiar with a lot of this already, but I don't get proper dialogue options to reflect that.
Martinez was used as one of the 3 footholds in Revachol during Operation Deathblow in 08. The other 2 are off in Stella Maris and the Delta.
Death blow sounds grim. Not thoughtfully and turn to look northeast. Shake your head and look down at the crater. It does sound grim.
This here is blood ground. where coalition boots first made landfall and cleaned those rabid dogs out. Most likely, we're playing Pétanque on their mangled corpses.
Well, that's a cheery thought.
Blood ground. You got old Rene going there. Like he isn't hungry enough already.
Yeah, he seems to be very angry. Hold on, the coalition. Okay, I know what the coalition is. I'm not going to ask this again. Is that why everything is so bombed out? Oh, that explains all the war damage. Yes, I guess it does.
Damn right, son. They laid the fire of hell on this city before they stormed it. And it worked, too.
There is a strange gleam in his eyes.
The rest of the city got cleaned up, but Martinez they keep as a monument. And now the Union Socialists are practically running the place.
I see.
Well, it's your own damn fault. You, we, the coalition, Revachol, whoever you want to blame, never finished the job. Officially, the party never surrendered. Of course, they still all influence.
That's an interesting perspective.
You don't even begin to truly understand the players at the table, let alone the specific circumstances surrounding the... What do you think?
Thinking men have opinions on these things. Present one.
That's how it should be. Soft socialists paving the way for hard working class to take over. Foreign powers cleaned up our mess and now they rule us. Shake your head in shame. This coalition seems quite capable, actually. Commies just don't understand how money works. Nothing, I don't think. I just do. Again, it's pretty obvious which answer is which political affiliation. So we got communist, fascist, ultra-liberal, and... No, this is ultra-liberal and this is moralist. I don't know, I don't really agree with any of that, to be honest. I mean, the coalition seems capable in bombing this place, so there is some truth to that.
They're not. And I'm sorry it had to be them. After 8 years of fighting those hyenas, boiling cats for food and drinking piss in the mountains.
He takes a deep breath.
I would have preferred if the Right Honorable King Guillaume returned through Revachol. Or even if that damn clan Frisel had risen from the grave and led us. Sadly, that was not the case.
Clearly.
Instead, all that is just, holy, and beautiful in the world was wiped away, and now it's neon signs with toothpaste ads everywhere. Foreign influence peddling garbage and stupid music on the radio.
He sighs.
This is just what the commies wanted. This was their plan all along. This is what they wanted to replace the role of the suzerain with.
Yeah, clearly he seems to be a royalist. How does Philippe III factor into this? Point towards the monument. Who was this Frisel? You mentioned Guillaume. What exactly is a suzerain? Again, I am familiar with most of this, but he might have an interesting or different viewpoint on it. So let's ask all of this stuff. So tell me about Philippe III.
It doesn't. That was 100 years ago. Ain't got nothing to do with anything.
So why is there a statue of him? Anyway, tell me about Frisel.
Damn Frisel. He was the king we couldn't protect. The Carabineers failed him, and the crown. He died in the hands of the hoi polloi, in a very public execution.
The hoi polloi? What is that?
He slouches as he says that. It makes him smaller, admitting they left the king to the mob.
Okay, so this is kind of a traumatic experience for him. But yeah, tell me more about Guillaume.
A true king in both blood and mind led Revachol before Frisel. He would have been better, but the damn commies drove him into exile.
Wait, Joyce said William ran, and his nephew, Frizzle, was shot in his place.
Commies didn't drive Guillaume out. He left when things got bad and left Frisel to take the hit. Okay, so I can use some of my previous knowledge to discuss this with him.
This is communard propaganda. Guillaume would never do something like that. He is Le Lion.
Okay, well, this seems to be a touchy subject for him, so maybe let's conclude. Tell me more about this suzerain.
This was Rene the king. Has everyone forgotten already? They forgotten already.
Apparently so.
It's no use talking to you. You were still in Daddy's balls when it happened. When we took our last stand against the filth and rode the cavalry straight into gunfire.
Okay, I have a skill check here. But maybe before I take care of the skill check, I have some other questions. Is there anything you can tell me about this rifle? Hold out the antique firearm. Well, let's see.
It's a Bell McGrave. 4.46 caliber. Breech loading. Revachol made. Good weapon. Accurate and reliable.
His moves are quick and precise as he first checks the weapon, then aims it at the sea. This man knows firearms intimately.
Apparently so.
This one's inoperable. The bolt spring is missing and the mechanism is jammed shut. Still a beauty. Where did you find her?
In the basement there, point at the bookshop. Sorry, I can't divulge that information. What do you mean find? This is my rifle, I always have it with me. That doesn't sound very plausible. Yeah, I found it in the basement.
I'm not surprised. There are probably lots of forgotten wartime weapons lying around here. Back in the day, everyone had something stashed away. As for the rifle, I don't know what else to tell you. These BM-446s are an antique. No one uses them anymore. The ammunition is impossible to find.
Right. But tell me more about that statue.
Ah, yes. King Philip III on his steed. A reminder of what Revachol once was.
Oh, absolutely. At the mercy of a cocaine-snorting tyrant who emptied the treasury so he could sleep on a bed of gold.
Well, apparently Gaston does not agree with Rene's opinions here, huh?
A superpower, feared and respected. A testament to what this country can be under the leadership of a true king. Someone who knows how to rule.
How should a true king rule? What was it about cocaine? Let's talk about something else. Yeah, how should a true king rule, in your opinion?
Decisively, without fear of offending the sensibilities of the frail and weak-minded among his subjects. This is something the insurgents never understood.
Seems to me a leader should take care of his people before himself. Powerful leaders not afraid to do what must be done. That's what this country needs. I'm not sure how I feel about that. Yeah, I think a leader should take care of his people.
A nation is only as strong as its leader. That's why it was such madness to try to...
Don't get started on that again. What happened, happened.
There's some wariness in his voice now. He's heard this rant many times before. Yeah, like I said, this seems to be a touchy subject.
The carabiner doesn't reply, but his entire being communicates unbreakable resolve.
Okay, tell me more about that cocaine.
Oh, old Philip was a big fan of the purple nose candy the nobility loved so much. A cocaine connoisseur of sorts. His egocentricity is borderline legendary.
I'm sure Rene is going to have a different opinion about that, huh?
You can't even take responsibility for yourself. How could you fathom the responsibility weighing on the shoulders of a ruler?
He asks, obviously annoyed.
That's why the Philippian kings use cocaine. For clarity of vision.
Ah.
To aid in their work. Regnum cocainum. Revachol's finest years.
He seems to grow taller, brimming with pride about the past. That is actually not the reply that I expected. I thought he would deny the fact that he was taking cocaine, but instead he's kinda praising it because it's just something that kings do. Fascinating.
Of course. Clarity of vision. Awareness.
Yeah, it is interesting that he wouldn't see the drug use of his king as some kind of, degeneracy or decadence or whatever. I guess if the king does it, it's fine.
Philip III was even brought into this world with the help of cocaine. The court made him administer the dose to his mother when she was in labor. And it is well known that with the help of cocaine, only the purest, of course, he was able to connect with higher realms.
Okay.
He's just making excuses for the king's habits, isn't he?
Yeah, it really sounds like it. I drink alcohol and go to heaven. Such responsibility requires a boost every now and then. I sometimes need one too. Seems like irresponsible behavior for a monarch. Drug users shouldn't even operate heavy machinery, much less rule countries. They probably shouldn't, but it would be kind of hypocritical of you to say that, because you drove your car into the ocean while under the influence of drugs. Thanks for clearing that up. I have some other questions now. I drink alcohol and go to heaven. Well, hopefully.
Please, officer, don't encourage him. Do spare us the cocaine fairy tales. The RCM isn't interested in them.
All right.
Yes, indeed. We're not here to investigate the drug trade of centuries past.
That's true. So let's talk about something else.
Right.
Okay, so we have a composure check here. The question is there anything I can do to increase my chances for the composure check? Let's maybe leave for a second. And I will check out my clauses. Is there anything I can do to increase my chances here? Okay, the trousers. Let's put on these. And the shoes. What are my current shoes? Okay, just perception. Okay, so that definitely helped my composure. Now let's talk to him
Vigilance
again.
officer, what can this old carabinier do for you?
Okay, that actually helped me quite a bit with my chances, so let's try this check. I mean, it's a white check, so I may retry it, but hopefully it's going to work.
As Rene turns from you to his partner and back, the medals on his chest rattle and glare. He keeps his spine straight and his ribcage lifted, displaying them proudly.
How many medals are there?
2. The larger one is shaped like a cross, while the smaller medal resembles the sun.
Let's look at the cross.
A crowned head in front of 2 crossed rifles. The medal hangs from a blue striped triangle. It's the Croix de Bravoure, Cross of Valor. The cross was the highest battlefield decoration in Suzerain's armed forces, awarded for exceptional bravery in the line of duty, in service of King Frizzle I.
And let's look at the sun.
A small blue star inside an orange sun. It has the word Valiance written below. The setting sun was a decoration used to distinguish seasoned combat veterans in service of King Frizzle I during the Revolution.
Okay, so he is highly decorated. Croix de Bravoure and the setting sun point to his chest. Did you get them for, well, bravery?
For bravery.
He interjects. That's what I was going to say, bravery. Not for killing babies or not for raping women or for bravery. I mean, that's probably what he got them for. Whether he did any of this, I can't say.
I'm sure, but I know this uniform's reputation. You are also wondering if I got this for raping women or killing babies.
No, I really wasn't. I'm just asking. So did you? I don't know the reputation of anything. Don't even recognize the war. That is actually kind of true. Sounds controversial. Let's talk about something else. I don't know. Did you?
Honor is everything to me.
He says with grim finality.
Whoa! Sounds like you're about to open the gates of conversation. This man will literally talk your ear off if you let him wander off to memory lane.
So do we want that? So what did you get the medals for? Sounds like there's a story here, but I'd talk about something else right now. Sure, tell me more about this. What did you get the medals for?
For doing my duty in the heat of battle. For looking my mortality in the eye. When men like Gaston here hid in the bushes and shot themselves.
He saved some muddy princeling who foolishly strolled into the front line in his gown of velvet and gold.
He saved a princeling?
It was on the first months of the revolution here in Revachol. Unrest was spreading like wildfire. Marauders had taken most of the Couronne and were getting really ambitious. King Frisel thought he could end it all in one decisive strike. Sent his cousin, Drisson, to put an end to the unrest.
I see.
Alas, the young Drisson was all piss and no vinegar, wearing a tunic of purple velvet and cockatiel feathers to battle. Even his rifle was gold-plated, shone from 5 clicks away. Can you imagine the asininity?
Seems like he's very close to realizing something about the king and, his family.
He really despises that Drissant fellow.
Which is interesting.
Purple velvet tunic. That isn't exactly camo.
It's not.
To keep the long and bloody story short, Drisson marched us against the partisans in Couronne. And when I say marched, I mean made us walk into captured enemy territory, single file, like toy soldiers, while he rode in front on his giant red stallion. The rebels were smart. They let us come real close before opening fire. Suffice to say, it was carnage.
Must have been a bloodbath, pretty damn clever bastards. Bastards, slowly shake your head. Yeah, sounds like a bloodbath.
I got shot in the left shoulder and went down. Just a flesh wound. But just as I turned over, the prince fell into the mud next to me. He was missing his lower jaw. Then his horse, driven mad by the noise and smell of gunpowder, stepped on my leg and shattered my knee.
He pats his right thigh. Okay, then what did you do? Shattered knee is interesting. Actually, can we pick it up later into questions? No. No, please continue.
I grabbed my sidearm and shot the beast in the head. Then everything went black.
Capitaine Arnoux, le fléau des chevaux.
The bane of horses.
The bane of horses. So you killed the prince's horse.
When I came to, it was all over. It was just me and Jolas Drisson, gurgling in the blood-soaked mud right next to me. The dink had taken numerous flesh wounds and lost a lot of blood. But despite missing his jaw, he seemed hesitant to die. Tougher than he looked, that one.
That's no dink, that's a fighter. I'd give up. Can't imagine living without my jaw. Touch your jaw. This would never happen to Johnny Lawjaw. Point to your jaw. My jaw is tight. I've been through worse. I'm not sure. Yeah, I think I would prefer to keep my jaw.
He didn't. I hoisted the prick on my back and started crawling. Kept going until the 59th Cavalry picked us up. Through some miracle, we both survived. And the jealous freak convinced Frisel to give me a medal for not leaving him to die in his own blood. Piece and shit.
So basically you got the medal for shooting the horse. And that's more or less all you did in that war. Because for the rest of the battle you were just lying in the mud and people probably thought you were dead, so they didn't shoot you.
He was the commanding officer and I was on duty. Just doing my job. Shouldn't hand out medals for that. 13 months later, I received the Sun for distinguished service. It's not worth mentioning.
I mean, I find it fascinating that you still consider yourself a royalist, even though you acknowledge that this princeling was basically incompetent and, didn't really deserve your service or whatever.
You sense he's downplaying it. He did a lot more than his duty. More than anyone's duty. It's in his spine, in his billowing breasts, and untarnished self-worth.
So why do you despise Drisson so much?
Because he was a goddamn dandy. Had no business leading men or even being on the battlefield. All he was related. That's it.
But, yeah, I mean, that's kind of how monarchies work. The king is only a king because he's related to the previous king. So, I feel he's this close to realizing that this is the problem, but he still thinks that, apparently the king is untouchable or whatever.
Royal blood alone doesn't make army commanders. He was a stupid kid, only interested in horses, hairstyles, and man-loving. And 782 Royal Carabiniers are dead because of his incompetence.
Yeah, it's almost as if inherited power is bad.
Whoa, man-loving? Is that even a word?
I guess it is.
It is not.
Well, you should totally put this into your encyclopedia. So maybe you're just being modest, Rene.
The old carabinier stands quietly like a statue, his features motionless.
What Monseigneur Modesty is not telling you is that he crawled over 7 kilometers before the cavalrymen found him and Drizant. 2 days later that was.
That's actually rather impressive.
And that even while crawling with a mangled half-dead prince on his back, he still managed to murder 3 rebels on his way.
Is that pride in his voice? It's deep down, but maybe even unbeknownst to the man himself, it's there.
Hold on, you're just a little bit proud of Rene's heroics, aren't you? Quite impressive. It's men like Rene who made Revachol great ones. I'm not impressed. All those heroics and where is he now? No, you gotta play to win. Look after you first. This doesn't seem like a good moment to express an opinion in closer. I don't want to risk it. I mean, he does sound like he's proud of this.
Sorry, officer, but you're reading me all wrong. I'm a man of peace, and these kinds of bloody heroics are only impressive to men like Rene himself. Certainly not to me.
Okay, if you say so.
How did you find the story to be, officer?
Quite impressive. It's men like Rene who made Revachol great ones. I'm not impressed on those heroics, and where is he now? I don't like either of these two opinions, so I'm not going to pick one of those.
Bon Dieu. You and Gaston must be related. His blood runs yellow too.
I see.
Maybe, but also bear in mind, officer. They don't end this out for anyone with a service record.
Indeed.
Oh no, you have to get shot. Repeatedly. And you need to get your hands bloody too. Really, really bloody.
Do not speak of what you know nothing about, Poltroon. Duty is something you will never understand.
Okay, apparently that's all I can ask about the story, so thanks, I guess.
Bah! There were many such stories in those days. Many such men too. True Revacholians. Men with backbone.
Oh yes, Rene, yes. Men were bigger, girls were prettier, and everyone wore the fascia. Lord, please bring those days back, if you can.
You sound sarcastic.
I'm not getting into this with you again. Officer, was there anything else?
I'm actually quite surprised that these people are just, playing boule or pétanque or whatever. They seem to have extremely different political opinions, so I guess they just do not talk about politics when they're playing. Otherwise they would be fighting all the time.
You should try to come up with a heroic story of your own. Impress this old soldier.
Oh dear, I have another check here. I should be able to increase my drama, however, by using my new bow tie and so on. So I guess I will give this a try, but maybe not today because the episode is getting kind of long. So let's leave for now, and I will try to increase my drama as much as I can. Also, I got a new skill point, so I should be able to pick a new thought that I can internalize. But again, I'm going to do that in the next episode. For now, let's call it a day as always. Thank you for watching, and see you again next time.